Oh, Danielle is on.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have more now. Okay, so we're good.
Are there two online?
Yeah, Danielle's on.
Two online?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, we will call to order at 7:01 PM. Curtis, you want to do roll?
Yes, we'll go roll call. Anderson. Arakaki. Here. Bergen. Absent. Clark. Here. Esterido. Online. Fitch. Absent. Glenn. Absent. Ega. Here. Here. Imamura. Yes. Here. Mizusawa. Here. Sugimura.
Here.
Here. Suji. Absent. Winfield.
Here. Here.
Fine. And Wood is absent. So we have
Thank you. We'll begin with our monthly reports. First, Honolulu Fire Department. So you can, yeah.
Okay, okay. Good evening, Firefighter Ross from the ʻAiea Fire Station. Read the statistics for this month. The statistic provided below represent a confirmed number of incidents in the neighborhood board's geographical area for the previous month. For more details on the incidents and related mapping information, please visit the fire response map on our HFD website at fire.honolulu.gov under the News and Info tab. Then you have questions, please email HFD's Public Affairs and Media Liaison at hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. We'll see any previous questions for this month. Going to go into the incident statistics for September. For fires, we have 0 structure fires, 3 wildland and brush fires, 1 nuisance fire, including rubbish fires outside the structure for a vehicle, 0 cooking, and 0 activated alarms in the place. For other emergencies, we have 110 medical emergencies, 1 motor vehicle collisions with a pedestrian, 8 motor vehicle crashes and or collisions, 0 mountain rescue, 0 ocean rescue, and 0 hazardous material incidents. This month's fire safety tip is smoke alarms make them work for you. This year, the National Fire Protection Association Fire Prevention Week campaign strives to educate everybody about the importance of having working smoke alarms in the home. For more information, visit fpw.org. Tips are: install smoke alarms in every bedroom, outside separate sleeping area like a hallway, and on each level of the home. Test smoke alarms at least once a month by pushing the test button. Replace all smoke alarms when they are 10 years old or stop responding when tested. And that's all we have for this month. Are there any questions?
Thanks.
Just a general question. Why does it take so long to clear accidents on the freeway? An accident might happen at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but there's still a lot of traffic from 4 or 5 o'clock. A lot of the residual traffic that comes by. Why does it take so long to clear that accident scene?
It's a more complicated question than just us. There's multiple agencies that respond. We can record your question and see if you get a better answer for you next one.
Because this past week, there's been several accidents that happened in the early afternoon. It backed up traffic till 6, 7 at night. But this one day, as far as procedures, as far as turning out traffic, not sitting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're there for some of it, but we do our best. We do the best we can to clear our section of the accident as fast as we can. Yeah, like I said, there's other people involved. I can't give you a full answer for that. We'll take note of it. Thank you.
That might be something that's HPD too. Yeah, okay.
Can I add to that? I was told that whenever there's an accident, if there's a death or something, they really close it up. They want all the facts. And I know it creates hardship, but they want, when somebody's killed. But if it's just minor, sometimes they can get it, faster and you can, but you know, when they have deaths, they're really strict. They have to lock off, and, you know, and that takes time, right? So if you're caught in that kind of accident, you're gonna be stuck for a while, right? That's what I was told.
There's other, I mean, Chair,
There's other.
there's other conditions in there also.
Yeah.
If you have something that is, and HFP knows this, with gasoline, it's on there, the oil and all that kind of stuff. And if you have the engines available, they do a wash down sometimes.
If any fluid spilled on the highway, we have to clean up with absorbent, which takes time, but we do our best to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, that's at the time. The other thing is if you have what they call critical in there, they're gonna hold it off to see if that person is one side of dying or is they go live. So they try to keep that there. The other thing is if you have tow wagons. If tow wagons are busy, or if there is a case where it just happened on Monomoy Road, where there was a car that's upright on the concrete between the two lanes going in there, that's going to take another kind of vehicle removals thing to do that and get away with it. So a lot of it, and a lot of this happens, and then if you notice, those of you are unfortunate get caught in work traffic, you know, like 7:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock. If you have that up there, that continues because it's going to go all the way back. So if something happens at, let's say the Triple Hospital, the area, or the Red Hill area, it can go all the way into ʻAiea. And most of you know how that is up there. So there's multiple things that go into that. When I was at accident investigation fatality, we just cut down the road and we try to get a detour for the people who work. And if that doesn't work, then it's there because you actually take 3 lanes and try to put them into one, and then you're there forever. Yeah, but it's we try to get it because we know what it is. We try to get some news out to the radio stations, especially in areas where it's difficult to go back on side roads. And so allow people to avoid it. Go to H1, go to Honolulu, the highway, that kind of stuff.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go down to Honolulu Police Department.
Hello, good evening. My name is Lieutenant Keone Hong, representing District 3 Pro City. My first meeting with you guys, so I'm looking forward to working with you in the future as well. For the stats in the ʻAiea neighborhood for September compared to August, motor vehicle thefts in September were 5 compared to 10 in August. Burglaries, there were 5 compared to 1 in August. Thefts, there were 24 compared to 27. And car break-ins or UAMPs, 19 compared to 10. The cost per service for this area was 1,334 calls compared to August was 1,489. The safety tip of the month is Halloween is on Thursday, October 31st. Make sure your child is visible. Make your child visible. Costumes and masks should fit well to avoid blocked vision or trip hazards. Carefully check treats for tampering. There's also a National Take Back Initiative Month. Turn in your unused or expired medication for safe anonymous disposal. This is taking place on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. One of the locations that you can drop off old medication is the Honolulu Pro City Police Station at 1100. I just kind of looked into the UMVs because there's a list of uptick. Most of them are smashed windows where items in the car that appear to be valuable is visible from the outside. So just make sure when you do secure your cars, also remove any property that might be enticing for criminals. But otherwise, I can take questions at this time.
Thank you for joining us. Lauren.
The same question as far as for the firemen.
Yes.
We have a lot of new technology like drones and stuff that could record what actually happened as far as car accidents, related instances. Would that newer technology help with removing the accident from the scene? Because it's not affecting hundreds, it's thousands and thousands of cars that's affected. But it's only if you guys implementing any technologies to try and expedite their which do.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I know the major accidents might be critical or fatal, those gonna just take time because there is maybe a criminal element involved. But the more minor ones, I know this gentleman explained the tow wagons, maybe oil in the road, that takes time as well. And it's just cars start backing, this island is very congested, so once something, it causes a chain reaction, right? So if it's at 1 p.m. and traffic's supposed to start at 3, now it starts at 1 and it just takes longer. But yeah, I'm sure maybe technology could help, or even, what is that called, like rearranging or reorganizing the roadways could help too, just to alleviate. Right now, sometimes you only can go one way in and one way out, so there's nowhere else that people can get detoured. So I think that's a problem too.
Thank you. Any other questions?
The time for the drug thing at Prosa,
This one,
10 to, thank you.
10 to 2.
Okay, community question? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, if that freeway off ramp when you're coming from Radio coming by, there's always like a no left turn right over there to get back onto the freeway on that in West Top.
Past the hospital.
Coming right down the rail, they kick up a lot of cut off.
Oh, okay.
And so there's a no left turn, right? So as I'm coming on almost a daily basis back, years ago, they always had like a solo bike
Yeah.
officer station over there. Nowadays, it's like 9 out of 10 vehicles all making the people left turn over there. So there are possibilities you guys could even step up some, presence so that situation. Yeah, that was because some situations when folks are coming from the industrial park area over there trying to get onto the freeway.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about. And I know they used to always post up over
Yeah,
there.
it's like a solo bike officer.
Yeah, I can pass on the message. That's the traffic division. I know. I could reach out to one of them and let them know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go down to Board of Water Supply, Tracy. Oh, wherever you're from.
Good evening, Vice Chair Lisa Fowler, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board and I'm with the Board of Water Supply, and I'm here to provide you with your report. There were 2 main breaks that were reported in this neighborhood board district last month. On September 2nd, there was a 12-inch main that broke 98,775 Hotwood Street, that's up in Pearl Ridge. And September 14th, a 6-inch main broke at 9936 Nalo Papa Place Lower. I only have one general water announcement, and that is the Board of Water Supply has launched our 2025 poster and poetry contest. The poster contest is open to children in grades kindergarten through 6, and the poetry contest is open to students grades 7 to 12. Our theme this year, Work of Why, and the deadline to enter is February 28, 2025. So we're giving you a lot of advance. So for more information, please go to our website, www.boardofwatersupply.com/WCW contest, short for water conservation. Thank you, and with that, I'll take the question.
Thank you, Tracy. Board, any questions? Online? Community? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your kind attention.
All right, down to Stadium Authority, Christine Limacan from Spain. I think they're online.
Yes. Aloha, Vice Chair, members of the board, and members of the community. I'm Chris Kinimaka on behalf of the New Aloha Stadium Entertainment District. Do you need to adjust for the echo I can hear?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, terrific. I hear an echo from here. So on September 27th, we did announce that we're continuing the evaluation of the Aloha Halava District Partners proposal. While we had initially anticipated concluding the process of evaluation by the end of September, the new Aloha Stadium team did ask for more information from Aloha Halava District Partners to get more clarification and to help inform the evaluation process. Given the detailed nature of this project, it is essential that we do a vigorous and thorough review of their proposal and that it's conducted to ensure the best value for the state. But the efforts do include more detailed discussions with the AHDP on the project as a whole, so that our overall timeline is still being maintained. We're still looking at remaining on target for contract execution by June of 2025 and opening of the new Aloha Stadium by 2028 for the UH football season if AHDP does continue as the preferred offerer, and that's what we're looking to make that decision on soon. So in our outreach efforts, our latest newsletter was issued on October 1st to share this information. You can get more information on our nased.hawaii.gov website with updated frequently asked questions as well. And what I'm going to do now is a little bit of a magic trick and spin around and also report for Samantha Spain on the Aloha Stadium events. What Sammy wanted to share with you all tonight is really a recap of the October Spectacular Night Market and Car Show that took place this past Saturday on October 5th. It was an evening event from 4 to 9 p.m. It was a great family fun event that featured a night market, car and bike show, keiki costume contest, live entertainment, family-friendly activities, food trucks, and beverages. It was a smaller event for the stadium, and there were no incidents and no traffic events reported during this time. Sam also wanted to share some upcoming events for you all as well. The Aloha Stadium Swap Meet and Marketplace wraps up their 45th anniversary with a fall festival on Sunday, October 27th. It's going to be from 9 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon in their Ho'okipa, Hale, and food court sections. This month's event will feature the special Fall into Fun pumpkin patch display, trick-or-treating activities, live entertainment, food vendors, and more. And all of this information can be found on the Aloha Stadium website. So the event highlights from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. do include keiki trick-or-treating, a golden ticket scavenger hunt for adults, and holiday shopping. There's also going to be a pumpkin patch display and photo op, food trucks and beer garden, and live entertainment. So do come on out. The event highlights from 10 in the morning to 1 p.m. include keiki face painting, balloon monsoon, and storybook entertainment costume characters. The second event that's upcoming is the Meja Free Reja concert presented by TMR Events on Friday, November 15th. That'll be from 4:30 to 10 o'clock in the evening. It's a free concert for people 21 and over, so do come out. And again, check out our websites for more information. And I'm open for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Board, any questions? Oh, yes. Can you come up? And can you say your name?
Hi, I'm Nancy Valdez. Today actually it was yesterday, I did door to door. A constituent by the name of Jerome. He was wondering, he couldn't make it, so, because he has to work, so we asked about the sewage at Aloha Stadium. How is that gonna affect Palava Estates? Thank you.
The sewage, as far as capacity, should not affect Halava Estates. We are working very closely with the city and county of Honolulu to ensure that we have adequate capacity for the first phase, especially because the Honouliuli sewage treatment plant and system upgrades are still underway. They anticipate being done hopefully by 2032, but possibly not till 2037. So our NASID team is working very closely with the city and county of Honolulu to address sewage capacity. We won't be taking capacity from anyone on the system now. We're looking at ways to increase our capacity on site. So we should not be affecting the estates.
Okay, thank you for your response, Christine. Community report, any questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Mahalo.
Thank you. Moving on to OCCC. Is the Tina or?
I am here. Good evening, everybody, members of the board, members of the community. I'm Bettina Maynard from AHL, and I am the lead on the OCCC design team. I am to share a couple of slides that we put together for you. Let's see if this works. It should be sharing. Is it sharing?
Yeah.
Could you make it bigger, please?
Make it bigger. I can't.
Can you do full presentation?
How's this? Does it work?
A little hard to see on our end, but
Is that because of me or is that
Display settings on top, drop down,
display settings top down? Yep.
duplicate slides. Yes.
Better? Can you hear me?
yes, looks
Okay.
good.
Perfect. We're going. I will give you a brief update on OCCC. Here are activities. This is a list on current events on the project. Last month, those of you that were here, we might remember we talked about the industry sounding activities that the team participated in at the ʻAiea conference in Nashville. Today, we will share with you a little bit about the value for money analysis and the program and planning effort for the new facility. This is a teaser. Our newsletter has not been officially released yet. We are waiting for one more review, and then this will go out to everybody. Issue 55, believe it or not, features details of the activities we shared with you at our last meeting here last month. It is a report, again, on the team's attendance at ʻAiea conference in Nashville. This is not what I thought I'd be sharing. It's not either. Okay, well, that's not good. All right, what you're seeing here is an outline for the value of money update. We are about to issue the final draft of the value for money report. This report looks at quantifying and qualifying the merits of proceeding with the project as a public-private partnership. You've heard us talk about this quite consistently. That analysis is complex. And in essence, it compares the conventional project delivery with this P3, the public-private delivery method. So for example, it considers the cost of maintaining the facility over time. It compares the overall investment against having investment. And then lastly, it evaluates building and maintaining the facility for 30 years. Okay, let's see. This slide here is now the right one for project definition meetings. In its last months, the project team met regularly with the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, DCR, as well as DAGs. So in these meetings, we walk through the specifications of the project, we confirm the overall program direction, and we begin to confirm the facility would be configured and laid out on the site. We look to continue these meetings both in person and virtually from now till the RFQ and the RFP are issued. Everybody on this screen here looks does not look into the camera, but that is because they're looking at the screen and at plans. So maybe not the most perfect picture to use, but I thought it might be nice to show. And I noticed we don't have Lawrence Siga attending today's meeting, which is unfortunately because at the last couple of meetings, a question about the quarry and the air quality. So he was wondering about the connection and potential problem that this might cause for our OCCC project. We found several online resources for air quality monitoring, I should say, that are available to people who are interested in this kind of thing. Unfortunately, none of them monitored the Halawa neighborhood. However, there are a couple of things that we found might be valuable to share here. The new OCCC will be air conditioned, and the conditioned air will be filtered. If there is an air quality issue, that would most likely be a regional issue. So the community would be best to provide feedback on any air quality issues they're experiencing. It wouldn't be solely on the jail. And then, and I can put that link into the chat in a minute, the DOH released a 2024 air monitoring network plan that is dated July 1st, 2024, and that contains detailed air quality analysis for specific region in the state. Again, unfortunately, it doesn't include Halawa, but it is actually quite interesting. And I will put the report for that on into the chat. Last slide. Okay, why isn't that working? Aye. All right. Why is this not working? Oh. Well, there we go. This is the timeline. Nothing really has changed on this graph. This is a reminder what's ahead, where we are. That is that red dotted area, and where we're heading. And that is all I have. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Bettina. And Lawrence is here tonight. You probably can't see him on the screen. So thank you for addressing his concern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as the air quality, I know in the immediate surrounding area around the quarry, they don't have 24/7 residential homes. So the prison would be a 24/7 facility housing inmates. I understand it's gonna have air conditioning, but from all of the pictures that was sent to us as far as how it's gonna be laid out, looks like you guys are gonna have a lot of outdoor area for, I guess, relaxation or for communication with the prisoners. Yeah, the issue was just the air quality and the quarry being so close by. Because at our previous meeting, I did touch base with the EPA person that was here from Pearl Harbor. And he said it's a good idea to look into it because the quarry can cause a lot of potential health issues if you breathe in the dust in the quarry, lung issues, heart issues. And it's not going to turn right away. So after the prison is built, maybe 5-10 years out, you might have a lot of prisoners start getting common symptoms. And if that should happen, you're going to face a lot of lawsuits, but it's going to ensure that those factors as far as air quality has been looked at and investigated. So the state doesn't have to do something dramatic, say 15 years out, 20 years out with the prison.
I appreciate that you're bringing this up. We're looking into this, and we're going to make sure that there are no health concerns. And what you're describing would not just impact any potential inmates, but it would impact people around the facility too. So I appreciate the concern, and we will continue to update you.
Thank you. Board, any other questions? Community or online? Can you come up and state your name?
Hi, everybody. My name is Malin Christian. I'm neighborhood board member, District 14. So I'm going to be visiting Oshikoshi shortly with some of our group members because we want to see what exactly is going on. So I'm kind of catching the tail end of this. But my understanding, what I just heard her say, the new prison will be built at near the quarry where Halava prison is. Am I correct?
Bettina, can I answer that? This is John with OCCC.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the site, do you know where the animal quarantine site is, right under H3?
Yes.
That is the location of the new facility. So it's going to be down there in the actual valley floor. So it's down the hill from the Halava, what we think of as Halava prison. So the jail would be down there on that site.
Okay, great. So I have a quick question for you then. What's going to happen with the current, should I ask you that or her?
You can ask me. Bettina and I actually, so.
Okay, so because I think so I'm originally from ʻAiea, born and raised in ʻAiea, went to ʻAiea and all that good stuff. I think my concern, and I've heard a couple other people already say it, they voiced it, was the concern was where it's going to be located. I thought it was going to be near Halal.
Okay.
So now knowing that it's going to be where the old animal quarantine is, how can I say this? I guess I have to look at the infrastructure of the new prison because we know that eventually, people do somehow, and we wish that they don't, but they break out. So now you're even closer to residents. You're closer to a resident's home. And so I guess we're gonna talk about that, because I think you got our names from Chance now. So I just wanted to know with the prison, how long will this entail as far as building? I did see that there's gonna be contractors building it. Is that gonna be based strictly off of local residents and local companies for jobs and not taken out of the state so that our people don't have the jobs?
What we have to look at, because it's the state procurement stuff, which I'm not an expert on procurement, but I do know this part, is we have to put it out for people to refer that, they refer to us a proposal.
Right.
We have to look at those proposals, the bid system. We have to make a determination based upon who can actually build this thing. It's a large building, a large process. We don't know how much interest there is. Now, I will tell you that I have actually already talked to some local companies that are thinking of putting in bids, but we cannot restrict it to just the islands. We have to look all over the nation for people who can give us the best design, give us the best infrastructure build, the best way to meet our standard, which we have to have this thing built by 2031, I think is the latest date, isn't it, Bettina? 2031?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to look at all of that. It can't just be based on, hey, we're going to hire the local guys. We have to look and see who can meet the needs of the facility. So we have to do first what's called a request for qualifications. And then we look at requests for proposal, because if they're not qualified to build it, they can't handle it. Obviously, we can't just hand it. So that's our process. So we absolutely would like to see some people involved. And I guarantee you that even if an outside company should bid on this, they will use local labor and local stuff because it doesn't pay for them to ship in workers. So probably what will happen, and I can't promise you this because I'm not that side of it, but my experiences in construction is that if you have a company that decides to build it, the funding will come to them and through them, but they hire local people to do the jobs.
Okay. I mean, that's for now. That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll talk more.
Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, Bettina.
Thank you.
We will move down to Pearl Ridge Center. David.
Sorry.
Sheldon?
Sorry.
Vice Chair, members of the board, good evening, and aloha. So Permit Center, we opened 4 new stores in the month of September. Happy Lemon, Miniso, Rock Candy, and Zane Jewelry. Miniso has gotten off to a fantastic start. There's at least 20 people in that store. Pretty much every hour, every day that the shopping center is open. we'll likely open 4 more new stores before the holiday. So moving on to events, even though it was yesterday, we continue our Coffee with a Cop event. And this is an event where the community can come and speak with members of HPD. It was yesterday, and Actor Chief Logan showed up surprisingly as well. So we were happy to have him there. So I just highlight a couple of events. The Dr. Ball also is back. The desire to get yourself into a big bubble, plastic bubble, and bang against other friends and family members. It's fun to watch, even if you don't want to actually participate. It's hilarious to actually watch this event. Bottles for College is an event on Friday, October 11th, where we're encouraging our community members to bring recyclable cans and bottles to Pearl Ridge Center. And the money gathered from that will be used to help with college scholarships for students at UH. Highlighted the UH Manoa Orchestra performance. Will be at Pearl Ridge Center on October 27th between 4 and 5 p.m. At our Marcus Center Court. Halloween Candy Crawl, so we will be again inviting all the gatekeepers to our shopping center. The retailers will have free candy to give out to all of the kids that are dressed up. And we will also have a costume contest. So again, it's a very safe place to, put families to bring their children for trick or treating, and that's the October 31st between 5 and 8 p.m. And finally, I'll just mention our Marketing Health Fair, October 12th, 13, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is geared toward the Kakuna and their families and their caregivers, providing information on memory care, retirement, residential opportunities, travel, finances, and so on and so forth. So those are the events and stores I wanted to highlight. And again, there's a lot more going on. As always, please visit our online website at pearlridgeonline.com. You can find more information. That concludes my report, and certainly any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Hi, Lawrence.
Thank you. Lawrence.
The elevator on the high side, serving the ground floor up to the 4th floor, has been out for over a week or so. When is that going to be brought back on?
There's a belt, evidently, Lawrence, that has been difficult to find. And it's bad when the elevator is down, escalators are down. I can assure you that we don't have the parts. We're not holding out. We're not trying to do this. It's just a lot of times we just cannot get parts as quickly as we'd like.
Yeah, my concern is the ADA access, because you cannot get somebody in a cane or wheelchair up and down the escalator. So since the elevator is out, the person who's handicapped cannot go to a different floor.
Our security department is doing escorts. I'm not sure the exact route. I think that they're using another maybe freight elevator. They are doing escorts. I think that we've done about 100, and hopefully we're going to have that fixed very, very soon.
So how do you get up?
I apologize. It is an inconvenience.
How do you get hold of the security for the escort?
What's that? Security, I have a 24/7 number that goes to our dispatch office. I can get it to you. That's it would likely be on our website as well.
Is that be posted on the elevator so people who are trying to use it know they can call security?
Yes, so if they cannot, if the up escalator is not working, which is being fixed as well, the elevator is temporarily down, they can call security and get an escort, get them to the food court. Yes.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be the elevator. If
Right.
mom has a key, she cannot go on an escalator because her depth perception is bad.
Right.
So she has to go on the elevator, but the elevator's been down for.
I know. It breaks our heart too, honestly. But we do have, if we could get her that phone number, we could get her to security and they will provide a escort and a way to get her up.
Thank you.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Are you saying that people can go up the escalator and, you know, I thought it was closed. You're talking about the Sears, you know?
Sorry, go.
What elevator escalator you're talking?
They actually, security will use a freight elevator to get people that are handicapped and, because when you do have the elevator down and, that is the only way that you can do it is a personal escort. And we won't do this. We won't do this.
There's no hope for Sears, still nobody's bidding for that.
Right now.
Too bad.
You'll probably find out before I go.
Excuse me.
Okay, community? Yes, ma'am.
Nothing wrong.
Yes, if you can.
So in that being said, do you guys have like signage for us to go? Like, how would I have known that there's escort? Do you guys have like a signage there?
I'll have to check the sign, but there should be a phone number on the sign on that elevator. Paul, I would check that tomorrow first.
Oh,
And make sure that phone number is there.
okay. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, David. Okay, let's go down to Navy / DOT.
Yes. Aloha, Sarah Ford. I'm Lydia Robertson with Navy Region, and this is Steph from Navy Quick Task Force. Vic couldn't be here tonight, but he's joining us online. So I had a couple of highlights to turn it over to Steph, and then any questions. You all have seen the weekly memo that was sent out, a couple of highlights from recent issues. We've had 2 namesake events with some of our ships. The crew from USS Chunghoon just celebrated their 20th anniversary of the commissioning, and they had 20 crew here. They went to Punahou School, where Admiral Chunghoon graduated in 1929, and they did some different community service events as well, over on the windward side and on this side. And then the USS Daniel Inouye did a return to home port after a 9-month deployment. PMRF is growing 23 native plant species for planting around the base. They've got a really good program over there. With our naval facilities, Command Hawaii is working with NOAA on turtle tagging. It's a 10-year interagency agreement. And then my final note, actually there was a recent visit from a new Admiral Mahilona. He's from Kaneohe. Just put on Admiral, he had a ceremony on the Missouri. We'll have a story about that. He visited Kamehameha schools, Denver, he attended high school, spoke to the students there. Other than that, we've talked about our hiring, and you can find out more information on our LinkedIn page, or let us know if you have questions, and I'll turn it over to Steph for updates.
So since last meeting, we've had 3 updates. We've created a podcast that's located on the Navy Closure Task Force website. 3 episodes are currently on there, featuring an introduction to our deputy commander, another episode regarding sampling of water, and another about lead sampling as well. So you can go ahead and watch it. It's actually a podcast where our deputy commander is speaking with a host and they're asking questions, and so you'll get to see. So I hope you go and visit. And then I mentioned last month about the groundwater model that was submitted to UH. We'll actually have a webinar explaining the model on October 16th. And that will be online. And then we will post the webinar link on our homepage as well at the Navy Closure Task Force website. And then another one, our senior leadership will be attending the FTAC Field Tech Advisory Committee tomorrow at the Capitol. And those are the latest updates since last month.
Thank you. Any questions, Lawrence?
Yeah, there was a webinar that I joined, and they were talking about bringing the Red River well back online because they're putting in filters in Palava, but they didn't have a timeline for that. Is there any timeline you guys have in mind? Because my concern is, say, our drinking water is contaminated, but already they went through the whole process, they put in filters, they got back online. But say it took them 10 years to do it. Now, if our water is contaminated, we're looking at 10 years out before we have clean drinking water from that well again. So I'm just wondering if the Navy can expedite what they're doing, to get their well back online, so that if the local drinking water serving the people's point is contaminated, at least you know what kind of timeline we're looking at. But is there any timeline as far as when they can bring the regular well back online using your filters?
I will take your question and report it back to ask our senior leadership. So basically, you want, is it the Halava well or the?
Yeah, the one that they shut down because of the.
Either Red or maybe ʻAiea. I don't know that they have a timeline. I know that they're talking with regulators, and as always, they will go through all the processes to make sure it's right. But as Stephanie said, we can check to see have they been putting any more toward that toward a specific date. So we'll get back to you. Either email the question beforehand or bring that to the next one.
If you guys take 15 years to get it back online, and now one of our wells is contaminated, you're looking at 15 years down the road before we can get it well back online also.
Okay. We'll check. Again, I don't know what processes are in place to bring it back, but I know that there's going to be a lot of parts involved, including DOH, EPA. We work with the regulators on all those types of things, ongoing testing, et cetera. But we'll check that specific. Is there a timeline involved? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members online or? Francine?
Can you confirm where the Fuel Tank Advisory Committee meeting is? Because I thought I saw it was going to be at the physical location, was going to be at the Blaisdell in one of the rooms. About what room? Not the seat captain.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, correct. Yeah, I stand corrected. Yes, it'll be at the Blaisdell. Yes, we usually use the PCT room.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you. Community, any questions? Yes. Can you come up and state your name?
Wayne Tanaka with the Sierra Club of Hawaii. I'm really grateful that you folks know about the FTAC meeting, and I really encourage the board to attend. You're going to hear from different perspectives. It's not the best venue to info, but you'll hear from different perspectives. You hear from actual ranking officers in the Navy, and not just from the PR department, which has sometimes doesn't have the full picture. And as just a couple examples of why I think it's important to get information from these different sources. First, I don't have enough copies for everyone, but I have, I could talk all night about the receipts, but we have, first a press release that was put out at the end of our legal proceedings that claimed the rental facility was being operated above and beyond industry and regulatory standards. This was after a legal proceeding where Navy officials lied about an active leak that had been going on at Hotel Pier that they knew about. It was while the Department of Health notice of violation for $225,000 worth of violations of the Red Hill facility was being prepared. That was the 11th of October, and it was before the Navy's own contractor and the Joint Task Force confirmed that it would take 1.5 years, 200 repairs just to safely refuel this facility that was being operated above and beyond industry standards. And more recently, and I'm glad the groundwater model was sorry, I don't have an officer, but was mentioned. I think Victor Flint was kind of waving it around last time. I think he was asserting it was a contaminant treatment transport model, which is a little different. But if you come to model, the University of Hawaii researchers have given their assessment of the Navy's groundwater model. As you see, the third takeaway in that takeaway slide is that the Navy conceptual groundwater flow model selected by the Navy as the basis of the numerical model does not correctly incorporate important geological features that can impact water flow, right? And the second bullet point, Pearl Harbor Basin is among the most geologically complex region in Hawaii. We're already very complex in terms of hydrogeology. Like this down here is super complex. So there's really no way, based on the studies they've done, to assure folks that there's no risk to our water supply. And while, infiltration of contamination into our municipal wells is going to impact everyone, it's, as you know, it's going to impact your constituents first, right? The Ka'amila well, ʻAiea neighborhoods. So I think it's very important, and I'm so very grateful that your board members are aware of what's going on with FTAC and tracking this. I would also encourage you to attend the CRI meetings, or at least watch recordings online. They've really been digging deep into the lead detections that are going on with the Pearl Harbor drinking water system. I think some of that area might be within this jurisdiction, or at least adjacent to it. Again, I want to reiterate my support, as I mentioned last meeting, about the need for more robust granular data. There is question about whether those polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons come from the Red Hill facility, but to the extent that it could have come, and to the extent that there are actually multiple sources, as the Department of Health has indicated, potential sources of contamination, we need all the data we can get. Weekly data, independent evaluation of the water samples, and just, and more market. We need to expedite the amount of windows we have into the groundwater because of how complex it is. It's really the only way we can keep our neighborhoods safe, our kids, our families, our businesses safe, and not just now, but for future generations. So happy to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. Any other questions?
I would just like
Do you
to
wanna?
make
Okay,
a
okay.
point. Thank you. I'm not going to have a lot of questions. I was just going to comment that the Navy definitely believes in data. They do a lot of research. We partner with experts, and everything that we're doing is hand in hand with the regulators. Department of Health and EPA are absolutely key to anything moving forward. We want to partner, we want to collaborate, and that's how we're moving forward. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on down to State DOT Highway Division, Casey ʻAiea. The main case on that.
Oh, good evening. Let me share my screen here. Okay, can you see my screen? Good evening, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board, KCR from the State DOT Highway Division. I'd like to apologize to Senator Elefante and residents at 99-950 Halava Heights Road and 99-949 Keala Yuna Drive. Back on April 23rd, I received an email from Senator Elefante about overgrown vegetations within the state right-of-way, intruding into two residents' property. These pictures from Senator Elefante shows the overgrowth intruding into their property. Our district landscaping crew finally cut the overgrowth during my September 20 field inspection. While they were cutting back the overgrowth on the Halava Heights Road, the homeowner told our crew that she only wanted the tree removed since the hedges provided privacy to her property, so only a portion of the hedges were removed. I also want to thank Senator Elefante for his email yesterday concerning the overgrown trees blocking the traffic signal heads at Kanuku Street. During a quick field investigation this morning, I noticed the trees are blocking the signal heads, especially the motorists exiting Best Buy parking lot. The trees may belong to the owner of the corner lot, so I asked our Oahu District Office to work with the owner on cutting back the overgrown trees as soon as possible. I also want to apologize to Chair Woods, who sent me this picture back on May 20th concerning cones along Mahi'ole Street. The traffic cones were installed to warn motorists and bikers about debris along the road. Our maintenance crew finally removed the debris during a recent field investigation. I also want to thank Representative ʻAiea for his September 17th email and these pictures showing the damaged flexible delineators at the intersection of Kaupani and Uluni Street. The damaged delineators were replaced during my field inspection this morning, but unfortunately they were already been hit and damaged. We will continue to monitor, and if more delineators are damaged, we will consider installing more durable traffic control devices. I want to thank Representative Kong, who called me on September 24th concerning the overgrowth vegetation and illegal dumping at the corner of Corner Street and Punohale Street, which belongs to the Highways Division. I'm working with our Oahu District Office and report back at a future meeting. During one of my field trips in September, I noticed a homeless encampment and illegal dumping on Kamehameha Highway near the beginning of the Pearl Harbor bike path that belong to the State Department of Land and Natural Resources. Working with DLNR, the homeless encampment and trash was removed during my September 27th field inspection. I also noticed a large homeless encampment on the Mackay side of Wamali Stream Bridge near the Cutter Ford dealership. We are working with the city's homeless coordinator on clearing the large encampment. During my field trip last Thursday, I noticed another encampment under the Halava Bridge near Pearl Harbor. I'm working with our homeless coordinator on clearing the encampment this week. And finally, I shared this story with my other neighborhood boards, and our director mentioned this at the ʻAiea Pro City Community Town Hall meeting on September 11th. On the front page of the June 21st Star Advertiser, the state DOT settled a lawsuit called Navahini versus State DOT with a group of young plaintiffs, many of them high school students, who accused the state DOT of not doing enough to address the greenhouse gas emissions that is causing climate change and will ruin their future livelihood and their right to a clean and healthy environment. The lawsuit was filed back on June 1st, 2022. The settlement affirms the DOT commitment to implement transformative changes in Hawaii's transportation system with the goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2045 across all transportation modes. A group of Hawaii youth plaintiffs with support from Our Children Trust and Earth Justice claim the state's per capita greenhouse emissions from Hawaii's transportation sector are rising and anticipate to make up nearly 60% of the state greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Some of the requirements the state DOT will be implementing as part of this settlement agreement are HDOT will create a greenhouse gas reduction plan showing how Hawaii's transportation system will become more environmental friendly over the next 20 years. The plan will include 5-year benchmarks and performance matrix for years 2030, 35, 40, and 45. These 5-year interim targets include reducing vehicle miles traveled, reducing the number of single occupancy vehicles, expand multimodal transportation options such as public transit, pedestrian sidewalks, and bike lanes, adding more public charging stations for electric vehicles, and increase the use of zero carbon alternative fuel like hydrogen for ground, air, and marine transportation. HDOT will be incorporating the Complete Streets policy. HDOT will produce an annual report compiling the individual projects and detailing its progress in reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and vehicle miles traveled. HDOT will plant at least 1,000 trees every year to help draw down the carbon in the atmosphere, and whenever feasible, plant native trees and shrubs. And HDOT will develop and implement a program for public education and community engagement to support our greenhouse gas reduction plan. Additional information will be provided at future neighborhood board meetings. We hope to partner with the neighborhood boards and our elected officials on successfully implementing this multi-year settlement. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
As far as the homeless encampments, what happened to all those homeless people when you cleared the encampment?
What happened is that we can only encourage these homeless people to seek help, but we can't force them to go, but we tell them that they have to move out of our right of way because of how getting hurt or any kind of liability. But we cannot force them to go to seek help. We can only encourage them and help them get there. We just have to tell them they have to move out of our right of way property because of liability.
So do you bring out like counselors or case managers with you guys to talk to them?
Oh, we try to explain to them, that there is help or what their problem that they could see. That's why we work closely with the city and county core program and care program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board, any other questions? Community, Claire?
I was just wondering if anything can be done to restore trees by the ʻAiea Gateway, and then also in the ʻAiea Cemetery. When DOT came in and when the freeways came in, they consolidated all the grave sites, and on the part that is the bank of, Meme Highway. That embankment was kind of like blasted to just pack it, but it breaks down every now and then. It would be kind of disastrous if we have some graves come out, come out from that. So maybe we can help stabilize the area by putting trees in the cemetery, also providing shade, and then also by the gateway itself, because the water hasn't been restored there, I think, at the gateway. So I mean, if you need to plant some trees, could you plant some there?
Sure, I can go back and look at that and work with our appropriate offices to probably start planning on installing trees in that area, since we have to do that for our Navahini settlement.
We can make like garden there. Okay, that's all.
Sure.
Great suggestion, Claire. Any other comments? Yes, Nancy.
I don't know if I should be addressing it here or at the South Bay Neighborhood Board, but another constituent by the name of Matt, he lives, the back is the stream, Halawa Stream, and he was wondering who's gonna clean that area up before there's backup. That's by McDonald's and Halawa Estates.
Okay, I would have to go in and look at that, investigate. That's by McDonald's.
Yes, which by Halawa Estates and McDonald's, correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Casey will take that and probably report back here. Thank you. Anything else? Oh, yes, Tracy. Oh, Claire.
So that cemetery, who's the owner of the cemetery?
The state.
It's a state.
It's a state.
It's one of the, I think, 3 states.
Because the other one in ʻAiea is,
Yeah,
city.
one that one is managed by DAGs. The ʻAiea Cemetery, everything is being maintained by DAGs.
Yeah, but it is state. Okay, did you have something? No, oh, she's back. Okay, any questions last? Okay. Thank you, Casey.
Sure.
We'll be going on to board business. First is filling of 1 vacant seat in sub-district 4. I don't believe anyone raised their hand when Curtis initially asked earlier, but is there anyone interested in serving the vacancy? No? Okay, we'll defer that. Moving on to approval of regular meeting minutes, we do have 2 sets of meeting minutes to approve. The first from July 9, 2024, and the second from last month, September 10, 2024. Can we just take it in one motion, or gotta do 2 motions?
One motion.
That's fine.
Let me know if there are any corrections.
Okay. Can I entertain a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay, can I get a second? Oh, Tracy. Okay. Okay, can everyone look over the minutes? Yes,
I
Francie?
just have a correction, with, the attendance listed for the July. I think we usually put who, or where certain people are from. Can we just add, where Lydia and Victor are from, the NAVAC and Navy region, PAO? I think that was the only 2. Oh, and the other one was KCA was listed twice in there.
KCA? KCA, okay.
KCA was listed twice. One without him
okay.
and one with. So you can just
Okay.
read the actual one.
That's from the last month's minutes?
The July minutes.
Okay, these are all July.
That's the only corrections.
Okay, we'll make those changes. Okay, anything from September? Okay, well, besides those changes noted, we'll make those changes, but if there's nothing else. All in favor of approving minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll go down to Item C, motion to support or oppose Honolulu City Council Bill 46, empty homes tax. Steve put this on the agenda, but he's not here to explain it, I think, right? If the board wants to just defer this, we can. I know that Councilmember Cordero is the one who introduced it and her staff is here. I'm not sure if they just want to briefly explain it to the.
I have some questions if the staff members.
Yeah. Okay, I think Dina is online. Dina, do you think you could just briefly explain the bill?
Hi, yes. So the intention, hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Dina Schwering from the Office of Council Member Radiant Cordero. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the intention of the empty home tax bill is not to raise revenue or hurt local families. In fact, if the bill works as intended and we eliminate empty units, there will be no revenue generated from this. After the bill came out of the Housing Committee, Councilmember Cordero made it clear to other council members that there are several critical components that needs to be addressed on the bill, and that it needs to refine in regards to the exemptions to ensure families living in their homes are not negatively impacted. Additionally, the allocation of the tax revenue must be carefully considered. While some council members support directing the funds that can, in the beginning will be generated from taxing empty homes, to directly fund housing and homelessness initiatives with the 5% allocation to the administrative cost for to support the programs under the Budget and Fiscal Services Department. So if you guys have any question, I'll try to answer them, and if I cannot, then I'll provide an answer next month. So right now, the bill is for passage of second reading. It's going to be heard at the council meeting tomorrow. Then after that, the bill will be referred to the Budget Committee.
Okay, we do have a couple questions.
Yeah, I have some questions. I don't understand why. It just seems like this bill would just be more work, because how are you going to figure out which homeowners aren't reporting within a 6-month period because of this? I mean, there might be other reasons why their homes sit empty. Maybe there's a repair, or there's something. I mean, are there exemptions? Because I assume that there's probably exemptions to this bill, and because we're just looking at a summary, we can't see the exemptions, and it just seems like just taxing, imposing a tax because a home is empty for 6 months is arbitrary.
Yeah, correct. That's a really good point. I think part of the things that needs to be discussed too are the exemptions. And I know that the reporting, like the property owner has to report and declare that the house is being used or repaired, and they need to provide proof of that.
Russell?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm like Jane. What's the purpose of this? An empty house, still you have to pay taxes. So you're trying to tax the homeowner who perhaps may be renting it for extra income, and it's empty at that point. They're going to have to pay an extra tax while it looks for another renter. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like it's penalizing the local families. I mean, a lot of people have more than one house, unfortunately for them, right? You shouldn't be penalizing them.
Yeah.
Is that the intent? I mean, I feel like we're being penalized here.
Not at all. If the house is a rental property, I believe that if it's empty and you have proof efforts that it's listed for rent, those are one of the things that you could provide to the Department of Budget and Fiscal Services when they ask for proof that it's listed on maybe apartments.com, or there's a property management company that's handling it and it's posted on the Honolulu Board of Realtors website or Facebook. It's not, the intent of this is not to penalize our local people that have an extra house that they're renting to local families, right? I believe the intent is because during the census, the last census, there was this report that there's about 30-something thousand of vacant properties island-wide. That's, nobody's using it. It's empty. It could be vacant. It could be abandoned. If you see Kaka'ako, there's plenty of buildings there that are empty. There's no, you won't see any lights in it. So those are, I think, the ones that are of concerns and we want to like target and impose additional tax, so that we're hoping, I think the council is hoping that those property owners will open this up for local families to be rented on.
What is the plan for the revenues generated from this tax?
That's still being worked on. There are some council members that want to directly put it into a housing special funds. Those are to support all housing and homelessness initiatives, and some wants to just a portion, not the full revenue. It's still being discussed on and worked on. Different council members have different opinions.
I haven't seen the bill,
Mhm.
but what kind of time period are they saying? It's empty for what amount of months before you get
6
taxed?
months.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people whose tenants I see across the street around in my neighborhood, where the tenants vacate and it's, you know, it's been vacant for longer than 6 months. They take that long to rent. Sometimes they fix it up, and then meanwhile they're looking for tenants, and you know, it's not that
Yeah.
easy because the rent is high right now. It is high in Hawaii.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
That's the market. I mean, it seems as though, I hope this council is not trying to manipulate the market artificially, or
No, I don't think that's the intent. We're just trying to find out different ways on how we can tackle the shortage of housing, and finding out that there's about 30, I think the number is 38 or 35,000 empty homes there that could be freed up for people to rent it out. So those are the things that we want to find out. The council wants to find out. And I know that some council members also mentioned during the discussion that they want to do like 6 months aggregate. So it's not, you know, they could combine that amount of time.
the $35,000 figure is Oahu only
35,000
in Honolulu?
empty homes. Yes, Oahu.
Sorry, just two things. There are questions from the board and committee. Russell, the bill, I believe there's a link in the Google Drive if you want to look, or for anyone interested in looking. And I know that, I mean, it's up for second
Is
reading
it on
right
the
now,
agenda?
right?
Is it on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll go
Look at the Drive link on the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, so it's up for second reading, right? So there's still another month or
Yes.
so to iterations, and
It's up for passage for second reading at the council council meeting tomorrow. So if anybody is interested to participate in that meeting, I highly recommend watching it if you don't want to participate, so you could understand and listen into the discussion and the concerns.
yeah, but tomorrow is not final. I mean, there's still.
No, second reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suggest that we keep this on the agenda, because I think that the bill that proposes tax is oversimplifying
the situation. And then, and if 35,000 empty houses in Oahu, I mean, it's gotta be something else other than people not wanting to rent the property. I mean, there's gotta be other reasons why the houses are empty. And it could be by choice. You know, maybe, you know, you know, to me, it's oversimplified, you know, the situation or the explanation. And it doesn't seem, you know, if there's 35,000 houses, there must be a reason why they're empty. And I don't think it's because of this reason. And I don't think that this bill is going to fix the problem.
Thank you for sharing. Did the community have any?
Well, I just had I'm sorry, I just had a question, and you said 35,000 homes. Does that include like condos? Or these are single?
I believe so. Don't quote me on the 35,000. I think it's some 30,000+ units. But yes, I believe condos are included in that number.
Okay, because that's a different story when you include condos. I mean, people sometimes have a condo here and it's a vacation for the winter, you know, kind of thing. So I think it's admirable that you folks are trying to look at another avenue to find a housing for homeless, or provide more homeless housing. But I don't think the incentive of taxing someone is going to be that. It's not going to help. But
Thank you. Oh, okay. After this, we'll move up into.
yeah.
Hi, everybody. I know I'm not going to testify because it's the neighborhood board, but I just wanted to make a quick question to Radiant's assistant. So I'm in city council a lot and I testify on behalf of the people. So what time is this meeting tomorrow? Is that at 9 or 10?
10 o'clock.
Okay, so when you say census, I worked for the census in 2020, and there were a lot of unoccupied. But as she stated, it's not only because it's unoccupied. It's because of short-term rentals, so they don't rent to locals. It's because maybe someone passed away. I know there's one right here, right across ʻAiea Heights, the medical building. Because I spoke with that family and they kept that front house empty because their mom passed away. And in their culture, they didn't want to rent it out yet. It was just a family personal thing. So there's a lot of reasons. I think this bill needs to be looked at a little bit better. You know, there's concerns that the local people are going to get priced out of paradise just because of tax. You're already paying your property tax. Now the city council wants to turn around and tax them again because the house is empty. It's your home. I shouldn't have to tell you who you can rent to and when you have to rent. So that's just my statement. I'll see Radiant tomorrow at the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Tina, for answering.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, it seems like we'll defer this unless there's a motion. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go down to item T, presentation, Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard Dry Dock number 5 construction update.
Do we have to make a motion to?
No, I can just. And then Chair wants to put it on the agenda. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. My name is Richard Oki. I'm with the DHO JV, the joint venture that is working on the dry dock, the P209 project. I am a wine dredging employee, been with dredging for about 17 years. So overall, the dry dock 3 replacement project is ongoing. We are on schedule. to get it completed by September 2027. Completion date for usage is early 28. It's kind of an overview of project update. We are working we have a laydown area in the YPO logistics hub where we are creating these precast fabrication units, which is basically going to be the bottom of the dry dock itself, and bringing a lot of materials from the mainland via barges and getting unloaded there as needed. The D5 Pro Harbor project, we have been starting power driving recently, and we're going to be continuing to drive throughout the summer of 2024. I was told that I think we did a presentation a few months back, and some of the community concerns was traffic and hiring of local labor. So currently we are at about an 85% hiring of local, not just craft workers, but also the engineers, the superintendents, the project managers to kind of have this project ongoing. The traffic concerns, we have been continuing to utilize the Aloha Stadium parking lot as a kind of a parking ride that we are having a bus take our craft workers from Aloha Stadium to the dry dock proper and then back at the end of the shift. Some upcoming activities that we are working on is the reclamation fill. Basically, that's reclaiming the land to build the dry dock. And also, we're going to be starting some in-water work next spring and into the summer, which will be bringing these precast elements that we're creating in YPO to the dry dock proper and installing them again as the floor. Just a overview of kind of the Pearl Harbor YPO area. So on the left-hand side, it's the YPO Peninsula. That's again where we have a lot of laydown area and also our precast yard. We are also any of our dredge material that we had taken out of Pearl Harbor and currently going to be working on in the next month will be stored there, dried, and then disposed of appropriately. On the dry dock proper side, we also have the Aloha Stadium parking as our parking ride, and also the dry dock proper where we are continuing to work and we'll be working in the next few years. We are continuing to work with the regulatory agencies to ensure that we are not doing any damage to the environment. And we do continue to talk with the YPO High School. One of our area managers out at the YPO area has communicated with the principal and the AD to try to avoid any traffic issues we have with their sporting events and also with students coming and going to school. Any questions about where the project is at, how the project is going? Do have the hotline and then also the website. Yes.
As far as the dredge material.
Yes.
Are you guys testing the material for contaminants? Yes. I went to a meeting other week. In that area when you're doing the dry dock, it's lighted up in green because there are contaminants in that area. Are you guys testing the dredge material?
So prior to us starting construction, the material was tested. So we did have an idea of what we were dealing with as far as the dredge material. And yes, as we unload it in the YPO area prior to disposal, we are testing it for disposal purposes or reuse purposes. There's some of them with the material being reused.
As far as the disposal, is that local disposal or shipping it to the mainland?
So a little bit of both, sir. Yes.
As far as all those reports, as far as the contamination and stuff, is that being shared with that RAD committee, committee for starting Pearl Harbor?
I apologize, I do not know that. I can get back to you on that. Get back to you.
It just seems like a lot of the different agencies in Pearl Harbor, they don't know what other agencies are doing. Everybody has done their own little part and they have like blinders on. But I know if you give your test results to them, we say know what you guys are discovering by dredging in that particular area.
Okay. Yeah. I sorry, I don't have that answer, so I'll have to check on that.
And the concern too is now you're gonna be contaminating that YPO area when you're dropping off offset dredge material.
Okay. Yeah. we'll look into that.
Thank you for responding. Any other questions from the board? Online? Yeah, community? Okay, thank you for being here. We'll go down to residents and community concerns. Any residents with community concerns? Online, no? Okay, oh, Claire,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of comments about the building coming up right next to the 76, right on Waterloo Road. I mean, now that it's really visible, because a lot more people are getting,
It's huge.
yes. But actually, we knew it was gonna be that big, why didn't know it was gonna be that.
What is it?
It's an office building supposedly. But I think what makes it huger, that's the word, is it has two layers of parking. You know, the land was very, topography was very funky. Anyway, so they have, I have 1.5 layers of parking. And then they have 3 stories above that. But the other thing is, it has to be set back from the street. There's all these setbacks, and then it seems like it's right on the bus stop. And now there's no space for greenery. I don't know, I mean, people are feeling like, if you were in traffic just on Monday, it was really bad. You know, you have a stoplight at St. Elizabeth, you have a stoplight at Ocala, and then people that race down the hill, and some people want to turn into 76, then you're gonna have another turn in at that building, you're gonna have another turn in at Times, and then you have a traffic light at ʻAiea Heights. Okay, and then you know you have that small road that goes behind Wendy's, you have people coming out of Wendy's, and you have the 2 bus stops across the street, and people are famous for running across those 2 bus stops on the road. Okay, so I think we should really look at traffic management of that building and making sure also that we have some green space or something put on it, because Waterloo Road is kind of looking nice. You know, you got 76 setback, Wendy's was doing all kinds of greenery stuff. The shopping center was being green. You can't access that building from the shopping center. That is, and the road curves a little bit towards the right. And so the driveway in and out of that building is going to be set back a little bit from the 76. So I think there's some concern there. Besides the fact that it's really.
Yes, sir.
It's something that, because, you know, my cousin and guys brought it up too. We live in that area, they live in that area too. And, you know, when they were transferring that service station that became Wendy's, they came before our neighborhood board and let us know what was going on. This particular situation, because I asked Chair Clark, and I texted him over this past week with that picture of that development over there. I said, you know, I don't ever recall them even coming to our neighborhood board to let us know what's going on. And that's another major concern that Claire just brought up, that traffic flow now. Like, what's that going to entail? Because now they're going to be going into, I guess, from where that loot place is with the service station.
No. They have an entrance just past that.
Okay.
So yeah, right before the bus stop, where they have they open it, if you look closely, they have wooden 4x8s that doors swing open and then they go in. So maybe that part might have some green space, but it's the in and out that's gonna be the road.
There's 3 stories. We don't know exactly how many different offices are going to be in there. So what is the traffic flow going to look like? And what kind of offices are going to be in there? Is it going to be doctors? Is it going to be, you know, some mini mart? Or what is this going to be in there that's going to tell it? And that's never been brought to attention. Is there any way you can ask the chair to find out who the developer is? If they can come and address this board and let us know, give us some information, what is going on, right?
Well, the developer is structural construction.
Yeah, so we'll look into that with Chair Wood and then for our future meeting.
Do you know do you know who the developer is?
Yeah.
Okay, can we get that from you offline?
Okay.
Okay,
I just want to add to that, I think people might want to check with the bus, because if that driveway is right there, and there's traffic,
Right.
and the bus has to keep on schedule. So they can't even pull up to the bus stop to drop off and pick up and go, because you're gonna have.
yeah. Okay, these are all things we can bring up,
And you know, I go by there every day and that thing has gone up really fast and it's big.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was gonna be small, and then all of a sudden it's getting bigger and bigger. And now when you come down, you know, when you get off the freeway, you come down, you can't, it kind of blocks your vision. I mean, before you used to be able,
She's gonna come out and everything.
yeah. I mean, it, you know,
It is set back from the canal. It has 100%.
but it's huge.
Okay, well, I'll work on that with Chairman. Thank you, Claire. Any other concerns? No? Okay, going down to elected officials. I apologize last meeting that we couldn't get to you guys last time, but I think we're on schedule. So we'll go down to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative, Director Haku Mills. Is he online?
Yes, I am. Good evening. Haku Millis, Director for Department of Design and Construction and Mayor's Rep. Have some announcements. I'll try to get through them quickly. This one's highlights from the mayor's newsletter, an update on operations and ongoing construction for Oahu's rail transit system. The city officially unveils ʻAiea Respite, our newest facility aimed at addressing homelessness. Honolulu's medical examiner shows off an upgraded facility, plus makes a long-awaited hiring announcement. For the second time in 13 months, the city opens a new lifeguard tower, helping protect more of Oahu's shorelines.
Sorry, Haku, we can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Can't hear me, or is it quiet? Can't hear me at all.
Is it just Haku? You think that can't talk?
Can someone online?
Can you guys hear
say
me?
something?
We can hear on our side.
So everybody else can, just not.
He's
in,
okay online.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, never mind. That's the.
So, okay, I will. I'm not sure what to do then.
Can someone online, Steve?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. I can hear.
But can they hear in person when the rest of us speak? No.
Good question.
Can any board members hear us online?
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear, but we're having
I guess not.
technical difficulties.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. If you could be patient with us.
Try again. Can someone just say something
hear
online?
us? Can you hear us online?
I can hear you. We can hear you guys.
There are other
I think it out.
I think I hear something in there.
Yeah. Oh, but it seems like we can't hear it. Hello, because Danielle even tried to talk.
Haku, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, can someone like say the alphabet or say something?
Testing, 1, 2.
Francie, can you try to say something?
Mic check.
Testing, 1, 2.
Yeah, we can't hear. We can't hear
I can-
anyone on our end.
Is it
Yeah,
very?
I can hear fine.
Oh no, yeah, they can hear us. Yeah, they just can't hear anyone. It's too bad. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry, we're trying to.
It's really weird. It just went out.
Yeah.
Shall we take a brief?
We're gonna take a 5-minute recess, come back at 8:40 with an update.
I'm very sure that it's on the road. First off, because I have to be. Oh, my God.
Yes, we can hear you loud.
Okay, Curtis, are you ready? Okay. Okay, we fixed the technical issues. Thank you, Curtis. We're gonna call back to order. Haku, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now, yes. Oh, sorry. Did you get Christine?
Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna put the newsletter link in the chat that everybody can go to for the highlights. Moving on, EMV sewer service charges. The city's Department of Environmental Services plans to increase its sewer service charges for all residents and commercial customers in fiscal year 26. that begins July 1st, 2025. ENV wishes to present information at all upcoming neighborhood board meetings on the reason for the increase, the amount of the increase, and what the additional revenue will be used for. We are asking all board chairs to contact Dr. Roger Babcock or Michael Keefe at emails I will put in here, roger.babcock@honolulu.gov, mokeefe@honolulu.gov, to set up a board presentation, which you guys already have. So Chair Wood has asked Dr. Babcock to attend the next board meeting, which I'm told on the November 12th meeting he will attend in person or online. He will be available to present. Excuse me. Some departmental issues and follow-up: a traffic light timing issue at Halekonia Place and Wanalua Road. Can DTS adjust timing of the traffic lights at the intersection of Halekonia Place and Wanalua Road? DTS checked the intersection and has been monitoring traffic. DTS found that the traffic signal is working properly. During the early morning hours, 4 a.m., for example, the system is operating on demand, with Wanalua Road being the green light default. During the afternoon peak, traffic along Wanalua Road sometimes backs up, especially when there is an incident on the freeway and many vehicles use Wanalua Road as a bypass. Also, when pedestrians cross Wanalua Road, they may finish their crossing before the pedestrian signal time expires, thus an observation of no cross traffic and having to wait for the green light at Wanalua Road. There was a question, Halawa District Park rule enforcement. Are the park rules able to be enforced? Can the gates be closed to prevent after hours usage? DPR responded, Halawa District Park hours are from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Residents and park users are encouraged to call HPD 911 should they witness any illegal activities occurring in the park, including congregating of large groups after park closure hours, which again is 10 p.m. DPR is working on expanding its security guard locking contract so that the cattle gates in the parking lot can be closed at park closure. Unfortunately, the request to close the gates at 7 p.m. cannot be granted, as the only ADA accessible route to the outdoor courts and comfort stations is through the upper parking lot. HPD also responded. District 3 officers make nightly checks of the Halawa District Park. Most times, park users leave when officers arrive. Officers will continue to monitor the area and take the appropriate enforcement action when violations are observed. District 2, is in the process of obtaining a new key for the lock from the Department of Parks and Recreation so they can assist in securing the park at 10 p.m. There was another question about a homeless encampment. Can DPR confirm if a homeless encampment is being moved to Halawa District Park? A resident shared her concern regarding a homeless encampment that is said to be relocated from Blaisdell Park to Halawa District Park. DPR responded, the HONU program has been very effective, successfully reaching out to hundreds of people since its inception. Bringing the HONU program to Halawa District Park could help address issues of illegal activity and homelessness, as HPD officers are stationed at HONU sites 24 hours a day. Halawa District Park has been selected as one of the possible locations for HONU, however, has not been confirmed. After meeting with Director Krocke of the Department of Community Services, they won't need to be on the agenda. They have confirmed that HONU will not be moving to Halawa District Park at this time. That is my report. Those are the issues, and I'm happy to take any questions or concerns from the community. Thanks.
Thank you, Director. Board members, any questions? Sorry, we'll get your board first. Online board members, questions? No.
Yes, I had a question. Speaking of traffic lights, there's an issue with over at Kanuku Street and Cam Highway when you're going, I think it's eastbound, Diamond Head bound on Cam Highway and trying to make a left turn onto Kanuku Street, sometimes that light doesn't turn. And so people will either jump out of the turn lane, go straight and make a U-turn at Kaanohi, or turn into Best Buy, do a U-turn and wait for the light to go straight across. And it's been an ongoing issue, but I just was wondering if there's anything that can be done about that light, the turning light.
So you're saying sometimes when a car is there, it doesn't trigger the signal?
Yes, especially if it's just one car sitting there or two. When there's more cars, it's more likely to trigger it.
It's the same. It's the same issue with the light right before that, Hikaha Street. So if there's only one car, the first pad doesn't register. So you can sit there all day and it won't register. But if you leave your car further back, then the light will turn. So I think it's both of those traffic lights. It's on either side of Waimalu Shopping Center.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm not familiar with the area, so I'd have to check with DTS on those traffic loops and the timing and sensors. So I'll take this down and I'll take it back to them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lawrence.
Oh, there's something mentioned, there's a telephone pole by the old ʻAiea library that's leaning over. They still be putting a new pole, and listen to that old pole, but the old pole starting to lean over a lot. It looks like the base is starting to crack. I'm not sure if the pole is gonna be replaced or supported, but I give it about 6 more months, it's probably gonna fall over.
Sorry, where is that located? What is the street and the nearest cross street, please?
It's right by the old ʻAiea library.
Which side of the road?
And you guys compound is on the right side. You cannot miss it because visually you can see it when you're coming down Montague or going compound. It's on the right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, any other questions? Francie, is your hand up? Okay. Community?
Okay, Haku, could you please check, I know you mentioned Halawa District Park a lot. So there was a really big problem with some damages in the dugouts, the benches were taken down, and that has been repaired. Through Brilliant Padero's office with us on the field. But the field itself, Halawa Sea Field, needs to be graded or it's not playable. Where the community leagues are having to pay other schools and like Stevenson money to play outside on the field. Because the field is not playable, so it's not safe really actually. So if something can be done, the people will help take care of it. It's just that additional if they can come in to grade the diamond with the foot. Halawa Sea.
Which field?
Halawa Sea. There's ABCD, it's a P field, it's a field. I know the dugouts did get fixed, and the dugouts were locked and they're trying to find the combination for the lock.
Thank you for that. I just want to confirm, so the baseball field is not playable, unsafe, and I guess you would like it or taken care of in shape so that it can be used.
Well, the main maintenance yard can at least just skim, what they call skim the field. The work can be done by the committee.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I mean, they can't do that.
Right. Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Director Mills.
Thank
you. Francis say? No, it's not. Okay. Moving down to Councilmember Val Kimoto.
Hi, good evening. Hello, Vice Chair, Board. Can everyone hear me all right? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Just to quickly add,
We did have a meeting with E&V. They were looking at somewhere about a 8 to 9% increase, which should be about $14 for residential sewer charges. Full council's happening tomorrow, which was mentioned at Satellite City Hall in Capolay. Some of the bills of note are going to be Bill 52. It's regulating the possession and use of bicycles and electric bicycles in the city and county. Bill 46, it's going to address the taxation of vacant residential properties. That's the empty homes tax. And Bill 22 is addressing fireworks use and permitting in the city. We had the District 3 Community Policing Team made checks of the Newtown Estates Recreation Center and Newtown Driving Range area. There's some trash and clothes that were found. There were no homeless individuals. They will monitor that area and encourage the community to call 911 to report any suspicious behavior or illegal activity. And finally, the parking lot for the dog training courses right across the street from the baseball field in that Newtown Estates area is now open. That's been an ongoing thing for a few years now. So they are able to park in that parking lot now for the dog training courses on, I think, Sunday in the morning. Thank you. Is there anything I can bring back to the council member?
Thank you for your report. Board members, any questions? Community? No, thank you. We appreciate it. Moving on to Councilmember Reading Cordero.
Hi, good evening. It's me again, Dina Schwering from the Office of Councilmember Radian Cordero. I put on the chat the PDF of our newsletter. I just want to provide you with some highlights on that. I want to invite everybody to our Pearl Harbor Bike Path Cleanup on October 19 from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. On our newsletter, we provided location sites. Our office will be in charge of cleaning up the Best Buy side of the bike path. Also, this is not in our newsletter, but I know that there are many concerns about this housing project, Hale'olipo'a Affordable Housing Project. The Department of Planning and Permitting is conducting a public hearing regarding the SMA major permit application for this housing project. It's going to be on October 28th, Monday at 10:30 a.m. It's going to be an in-person and remote meeting at the Pasay Municipal Building. For more information, reach out to our office or contact DPP. The person in charge is Steve Tagawa, 768-8024. Moving on updates on community concerns. There was a concern raised about fallen tree leaves creating trash in residents' yards. So if the leaves are coming from city street trees or park trees that needs pruning, please contact the Department of Parks and Recreation Division of Urban Forestry directly at 808-971-7151. If the leaves are falling into your property from neighboring trees on private property, generally speaking, this is a private matter to be addressed by the parties involved. Concern is Moanalua Road street sweeping. The Department of Facility and Maintenance Division of Road Maintenance has initiated a service request number 58421 for street sweeping on Moanalua Road between Kaonohi Street to ʻAiea Heights Drive on both sides of the roadway. For status updates, please contact dfmroads@honolulu.gov. Also, a concern about a sinkhole on Kaonohi Street. DFM shared on September 18 that crews patched the pothole sinkhole area along Kaonohi Street on May 3rd. The continuous discharge of irrigation water from the West Ridge Shopping Center's sprinkler system appeared to have been corrected, and the DFM has referred the ponding in the gutter area to DTS. And yep, okay, last is a trash reported near Pu'akala Street and Laka Place. The Department of Environmental Services reported that the growing pile or trash items at the cul-de-sac at the end of Laka Place and Pu'akala Street that was being taken care of by the Department of Environmental Services. And that's all. Oh, another one is the city is now accepting grants and aids application. The GIA proposal must be submitted by 2 p.m. on November 22nd. Last year, the city awarded about 9.6 million in GIA to 78 nonprofits across Oahu. For more information, please check our newsletter. That's all my report for this month. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them if I know it.
Thank you, Dina. Board members.
As far as the Moana Road street sweeping, can you guys have the maintenance guys, check on your sweeping machine, because I noticed they're leaving a lot of gravel on the roadway. So they're moving it from the side, putting it on the roadway. And as far as a hazard, if anybody driving a motorcycle, taking a turn, and they get all that gravel, they might go down. But then you have to check the street sweeping machines to make sure they're operating properly.
Okay. Okay, we'll contact the road maintenance division on this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, board members, any other questions? Community? Okay. Thank you, Dina.
Thank you.
Moving down to State Governor Josh Green's representative Janelle Saneshi. She online.
Janelle, are you there?
Janelle. Oh. Okay, well, we'll skip for now. Janelle, if you would like to give your report, please just ping us. Next, we have U.S. Representative Ed Case Nestor Garcia. Are you online? No, he's not. Okay. State Senator Glenn Wakai, no report for him. Senator Brandon Elefante.
Hi. Good evening, Acting Chair Misusao, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board, and those online in the community. I'm Brandon Elefante from the State Senate. I only have two things. First of all, thank you, Claire, for sharing the concern in some of the board members regarding that new development project between the the service station and ʻAiea Shopping Center. I just reached out to the owners of that property to see if they can do a presentation if that's what the board wants for next month's meeting. And then the second thing I want to mention is we've been getting a lot of calls and complaints regarding freeway racing between ʻAiea and Pro City. So this past weekend, HPD went out. They had a lot of calls for service that evening, but they were able to locate some of the people that were racing, queuing up in the Manana parking lot area where the CVS is off of Wallace Street. They did have a few arrests and citations, and we've asked HPD to go out and patrol basically between 11:30 and 2:30 on the weekends. So I know that's been a cause of concern for a lot of folks. And as we go forward for the upcoming legislative session, we'll be looking at issues dealing with speeding and see what we can do to work with the different agencies. Otherwise, happy Halloween to all of you, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, because they're doing it, I hear that every night, this is right over my feet. They used to have a raceway park out in the country, if, it was organized, and I would rather they speed over there than speed over our freeways, because I am thinking one day I'm gonna get a bang. There's, they're coming down, and what about people going up? But it's separate, one is right, but it's scary, and some cars aren't that good, and they're running and racing. So I'm really worried that one day, bang, there will be a big accident. Has there been talk about creating a raceway for, these young men who have these duped up cars and want to just speed it?
I'll defer to the city and county on that because I know
it's every
majority's town halls. That may have come up, and I know he has a representative, so you could ask him that question.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
I read that the state found 800 million to help out with the ʻAiea wildfire. As far as where that money came from, and is that a done deal that the state is going to be putting in 800 million for the ʻAiea wildfire, or is that how they go?
Thank you, Board Member Higa. I'll have to get back to you on that with more details.
Yeah, because I'm concerned because I did Google, like PG&E had a wildfire.
Sure.
The state of California didn't throw any money into that suit that was happening. And I'm concerned that this might start a precedent, like say my car's burning on the side of the freeway. It goes over state land, it ignites state brush, it burns a couple houses down. Can those people now sue the state for negligence?
I don't have an answer. If you're looking for an answer, I don't, that's something we have to look into and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, those are legal questions. I mean, he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I know, we issued,
And I just want to also remind folks that there's still that ongoing thing, even though there's been a settlement proposed. That's still sort of ongoing as we speak. So we'll get back to you and some answers where we're ready to go.
because they say that they're not gonna increase taxes. They're not gonna cut any services, so they just found this 800 million, but if they have 800 million as far as applying it to our homeless issue or other issues on the state, that 800 million would go a long way.
Sure. Is that an article that you're reading it from, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, I have it here, I give it to you.
Okay.
And Hawaii Electric, they hired a bankruptcy expert at the ACE, so I'm not sure if it was a collaboration between Hawaii Electric and the state, and if the state has shareholders or they're in the retirement fund, but 800 million is a lot of money.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me, can I ask, there's in the paper or how'd you get the information?
By Google it online.
Okay, okay.
It's from Civil Beat, one of the articles.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
Okay, sorry, Tracy has a question.
Senator, so, there was a state, open for proposal for a parcel of DHHL's land, the parcel 9. Bidding closed on September 27 for proposals to do a racetrack. Can we find out what happened and who was awarded that lease?
Okay, so you're saying, let me understand this correctly, there was a proposal.
Open for proposals for that parcel 9 property where Pasha is actually present the audit.
Okay.
And
Parcel 9 is where specifically?
Specifically over there, but Barbers Point, Macanaloa area.
Okay.
And it's DHHL's property. It was open for 4 months. The bidding closed on September 27. So you find out who actually was awarded the bid.
We can look into it.
And I can tell you this right now, when I was a promoter for the drifting at the racing at the Los Liga, we worked with law enforcement, so it was a carry and stick situation.
Sure.
For that 2 years when we were promoting those events, if we found out any drifter was caught on the street racing, they couldn't participate. For those 2-year period, you had 0 drifting on the street, 0.
Well, we'll find out and get back to you, board member.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Online community? Thank you, Senator.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, moving on to State Rep Linda Ichiyama. She online. Yeah. Okay, we just have a report from her. Moving down to State Rep Micah ʻAiea.
Good evening, everyone. Representative Micah ʻAiea. I want to keep this short. I do want to give a shout out to my constituent Curtis. I wanted to do this last month for him, but we ran late. So hope you're enjoying the new job, Curtis. And then my other announcement is that Senator Elefante and I were able to attend a pre-K classroom opening at Alva Scott Elementary School. It's part of Lieutenant Governor's initiative for ready keiki education. The legislature's appropriated a lot of money for pre-K education, and they're opening new schools every day. So Senator Elefante and I were able to go read a few books to the pre-K kids, and their classroom was very awesome, right in the middle of campus at Alpha Scott. And there's been others going around the state, and the next one I'll be going to is at Red Hill Elementary School. Other than that, I'm available for any questions. Oh, actually, I had one more announcement. I apologize. Monadnock Gardens Missionary Church will be holding a Fall Fest on October 26th. It's the church next to Monadnock Elementary School. It's a free event. It's open to the public statewide. It's supposed to be a family-friendly event. So if you have kids and you're looking for something to do on the 26th, feel free to drop by. I'll be there.
Thank you, Rep. ʻAiea. Any questions from the board? Community? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Kong? Xiang? Rep. Kong? No? Okay, moving down to reports, board member attendance at other meetings affecting ʻAiea Neighborhood Board business. Anyone have anything to report?
Vice Chair.
Yes, Francine.
I think, is Janelle back?
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, Janelle.
Or so I had to get back into WebEx. So, a brief rundown. Earlier, sorry, I'm Janelle Saniishi with representing the governor and the executive branch. Just earlier today, the Department of Health had a open house, a Red Hill open house at Aliomanu Middle School cafeteria. Apparently they had some booths and answered questions. DOH was there, EPA, the Navy Task Force, UH, and the Red Hill Community Representation Initiative. That was earlier this evening from 5 to 7. And as it was mentioned before, there is a fuel tank advisory committee meeting tomorrow at between 1 and 5 p.m. And that will be physically at the Neil Blaisdell Center Pikaki room. It is also accessible by Zoom. So if you want to log in via Zoom, you can go to the Department of Health website and look for, there's a link to Red Hill updates. And it has the agenda and how to sign up for the Zoom there. On another issue, last week, the governor issued a second emergency proclamation to help stabilize the condominium insurance market. The first emergency proclamation was issued in August. So this is the second one extending it. The governor had established an executive and legislative condo and property insurance task force, and they have been meeting, and they did meet last week, and they're continuing to move forward. You know, what's proposed is that they use the Hawaii Hurricane Relief Fund and the Hawaii Property Insurance Association to issue master policies to condo associations who are having a hard time with insurance premiums. The emergency proclamation suspends some state laws and allows the state to issue master policies to condo insurance, condo associations. The Hurricane Relief Fund board members met last week, and they're supposed to meet again at least 2 more times. And they are contemplating how to administer that program. The governor also last month recognized outstanding state employees and teams from each department. The state manager of the year is from Department of Health, Joanna Seto, who managed the response to the Red Hill fuel crisis and the Maui wildfires. Employee of the year was Heidi Taogoshi, a registered nurse who coordinated medical response teams during the Maui wildfire. And the team of the year award went to the UH Maui College Culinary Arts team, who transformed their building into a food hub and prepared meals for displaced residents. You can view the governor's October newsletter. It's in the Google Drive, or you can go to governor.hawaii.gov That's it. I can take any questions.
Okay, thank you, Janelle. Any board members, any questions? Yes, Lawrence.
You know, as far as, that 800 million that was, is gonna be used for the Maui wildfire. I'm not sure if you were online when I was talking to Senator Elabate. Were you online when we had that discussion?
I caught part of it, but not everything. You have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering where that money is coming from, because there's not gonna be any increase in taxes. There's not gonna be any cuts in services provided. But as far as 800 million, I'm not sure where that money is coming from. And I did a Google search of the PG&E fire in California. California did not throw in monies for those lawsuits that was happening to the PG&E. So I'm not sure if Boeing's setting a precedent where if there's a car fire on the side of the road and it burns, say, state land adjacent to it because of brush, it burns homes, and those homes now then sue the state because of what the state is doing. I'm all for helping out Maui. I could see the state of Hawaii giving Maui Electric a loan for 800 million and you can pay back, but just to get them outright, when they had that investigative report that said the source of the fire started from down power lines. So I was just wondering if you could find out where all the money's coming from, that you're not gonna have any tax increase, and we're not gonna have any cut in services.
From what I heard, I believe some of that money is coming from the rainy day for the state rainy fund. And I'm not sure where else that is coming from, but it's coming from the general fund. So I know it's stuck, well, not stuck, but it's being heard in the Supreme Court. They're going to listen to arguments of subrogation, which is the insurance companies want to get some of that money, be able to recoup some of that money. And so that is up to the state Supreme Court to look at and to see whether the insurance companies are able to get relief also from that fund. So right now it's on hold.
The 800 million, is that a done deal, or it needs to be voted on in the Senate as far as approving those funding, or the 800 million is already applied and given to that purpose of that Maui Wildfire Fund with Hawaii Electric and all of the other entities that were involved in that fire?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I believe that the state attorney general has approved that the use of those funds. So I'm not sure if it requires legislative decision making. But I can check. I'm not sure where the issue is at this point, but it'll be.
Thank you.
Okay, any other board member questions, community? All right, thank you, Janelle.
Thank you.
Going back down to reports, if there's no other board member attendance at other meeting reports. Go down to ECA, Claire.
Hi, okay, let me get up here, wait. Okay, so on, October fell on a funny kind of way, so next week, normally our meeting follows, the folks meeting, but because it's actually the third Monday, it won't be until the 21st. So our meeting, I Community Association meeting will be on October 21st, and it's all gonna be all totally virtual. I'm gonna be traveling, so Karen Higa's gonna run the meeting virtually. So it won't be in this room at all. Wanted to remind everybody about the parade that's happening on December 14th. And this year we're gonna bring back the Family Fun Fair, which is gonna be in this parcel over here. We'd like to encourage people to come. We're gonna partner with an event coordinator kind of thing that's gonna have other, talking about probably seeing if we put a petting zoo, a bouncer, those kinds of things, make it more attractive to the kids. I hear the mayor is coming. So, and we're gonna have the Marine band from Kaneohe, so, and the high school band, so all we have to do is wait for Royal Hawaiian, anyway. For those of you who want to know the building up there, the affordable senior housing, 139 units. They're working very hard on it. If you hear people out in the community that are interested in the building or the housing, you can express interest by going to EAH with the developer EAH Haliwilico, and they will bring you up the website. You can express interest. It's not a guarantee, or it's not to be put on it's not to get in line for it, but just to indicate you're interested, and when they decide to take applications, they'll contact you back. And if anybody else has any questions about that, they can contact us. And pretty much that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Claire. Board members, any questions?
Participate in our program.
Thank you for bringing that up, because that's what I'm going to bring that up.
Okay, but.
Yeah, so I did remember there.
Oh, okay. Okay, committee questions? No?
That's good.
Okay, thank you, Claire. Moving on to committees, executive, Sherwood's not here, no report, community relations and publicity, Tracy.
Okay, so I have something to, I had asked the chair to put this on the agenda for a couple of months, but because of the full agenda we had, so anyway, we always talked about ways we can get more involved in the community and what to do with our budget. So I came up and I worked with my graphics guy, so I want to see if we can put it on next month's agenda to see if we can get like a banner made and participate in the ʻAiea parade. And then I already got a quote for how much the banner would cost from ʻAiea Copy Center. And then we can also end up using this banner in future events, like when there's some function coming up and say foliage or something like that, you know what I mean? So I can start getting more involved with the community. So yeah, so I want to see if you folks would be interested in us putting that up and doing the agenda for next month.
Ski question, where would you post it?
You post what?
Okay, you said it's a banner.
Yeah, so we're gonna be like, let's say,
Like parade.
coming up,
Parade.
on the banner up, and all be handing out candies and that kind of type of stuff to the.
No, that's very good.
Yeah, or like when we go to community functions and say foliage or wherever else, and have the banner and design some handouts, to get people more information about what it is that we do here at the board.
You can have a booth also that people can stop by and ask for information on the neighborhood board.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see that.
Second the motion, or no?
No, we can just put it on for next.
Let's put it on so we can vote on it for next month.
I have another suggestion.
Yes.
When I was in Pro City, but they would hang out a banner. We met in the Pro City Library, you know, because nobody knows, but at least they have one on home road, you know. But over here, we don't have too much.
Put the banner right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, you know.
Like what you put in the phone. You have the thing on this,
Yeah, and the banner isn't that expensive. Well, you have it.
$65.
Yeah, we have money for, you know, so I think we need publicity, because look at here, 3 people. It's not too good.
There's a lot of people online though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It is the end of the meeting, but yeah. Okay, but we'll do that for next month. We'll work with Sherwood on that. Anything else?
No.
Any other questions? No? Okay, Parks and Rec, Paul Glenn's not here, I think. Planning and zoning, chemo, see online, no? Okay. Military intergovernmental affairs, Francie.
RAB meeting was held last month. I forgot what the date was. It was a Wednesday. The next one is gonna actually be in December on the 11th, another Wednesday. Exact time and locations to be determined still. That's for the Pearl Harbor Kaleido RAB.
Okay, any questions? No? Okay, thank you, Francie. Environmental and utilities, Lawrence. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Education and culture, Danielle.
Yeah, the Ho'olahoia Kalawao has the monthly work day on October 19th, and then another one in November, and then we'll break for the holidays. And then Kumu Keola Kalani reached out and asked if I would share with the board that ʻAiea High School will have an event at the end of January for Makahiki. And so that'll be an opportunity to kind of interface with students, and it's open to the community. They'll have food trucks and whatnot. I don't know if this falls under what we're allowed to do with the budget, but he and the principal had asked if we did have funds, if we would be willing to sponsor one or more of the porta potties for the event. So yeah, he asked me to put it to the board if it was possible. I'm not sure if that falls under the purview of what we're allowed to do with the funds.
I'm sorry, what was the event again?
It's a makahiki, so it'll be open to the community. So makahiki is like a time in the Hawaiian calendar that we're kind of going into, where it's a time of peace and recreation and whatnot. And so they'll have a bunch of food trucks, some cultural things, but it's basically a music, booths and things like that. So it'll basically be an open event to the community on ʻAiea High School campus.
What date and time is this event?
He's still working on the flyer for me. I want to say it's the end of January, so I'm not sure if it'll be the 31st or the week before. But he's traveling right now because they're all on break, but I can find out and get back to folks.
Because if we can use the board's funds for this, let me know, because I can reach out to some folks that I got connections with that they do this type of things where they'll donate a porta potty or two for an event.
Okay, yeah, that would be terrific. Thank you so much.
But yeah, okay, I'll look into it with Curtis, and my assumption is if it is possible, then it might have to be an agenda item, and the only meeting we have until around January is next month, so we might have to make decisions quickly, but we'll find out.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. Any questions?
Danielle, the sooner you get that date and time for it, just text me and let me know.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Lawrence.
There's been utility outages in ʻAiea, and we checked the site and says undetermined. How can we determine what caused it?
Wait, sorry, a utility?
Power outages. Yeah. And it only doesn't hit the critical areas like coverage or plant supermarket, but it's the residential side. If you go to the PICO's website, it says undetermined as far as what caused the outage. How can we find out what is causing the outage? We need to talk to PICO.
I would say that would be the best.
But PICO doesn't have that on board.
Yeah,
either.
yeah. But if you have questions, we can reach out with them.
Yeah, if possible, because I know it's becoming more frequent. And I'm not sure if the grid, how the grid is, because now we have that big solar farm with batteries. But if we have cloudy days, sometimes the power becomes kind of iffy.
Okay, I mean, if it's of interest to you, then you can reach out to me and share whatever. See what we can coordinate in the next month or a couple months.
Thank you.
Okay. Announcements, next meeting, November 12th, 7 p.m. here. There's other announcements in this thing that you can read, but if not, we will adjourn at 9:21. Thank you, everyone.
Attention to the library, you like their tables.
I love their table.
So if you set up and. The other thing is, they added for the book fair.